that you?
That's the trash truck again.
Oh, okay.
Coming back for round two. Yes, he drives straight down the alley in one direction. Then he has to back out and turn around and back in to get the other side.
Should we just include him in the show?
Sure, why not?
Sure, the Trash Truck Olympics.
Look out, she's backing up. She's backing up. Hey, everybody.
Welcome to a brand new edition of the Talking About Cars podcast, where everybody has a car story. We come to you today from California, and it looks like we may hear it not. We come to you from the Trash Truck Olympics, and our correspondent, Bob Beck, standing by. Bob, what's going on at the Trash Truck Olympics?
I'll tell you what, it's been a hectic day. The trucks have been narrowly missing each other as they traverse the alleys here. It's been a tight race, and most of them are side by necks, getting ready to get all the trash and recyclables they can.
Interesting to note, Bob, if we hear the sound, that's what it is, the Trash Truck Olympics. They're very possibly driving in one way, turning around, or at least somehow going the other way, so they pass you and our broadcast studio not once, but twice.
Well, never do once what you can do twice, and they are really practicing at this. They are practicing their skills at backing up without hitting a single house or dropping one piece of trash.
Unbelievable, Bob, and that's just performance that you have to practice. You can't just show up and do that kind of thing.
No, this is something you've got to have years of experience to accomplish, and these guys can do it in a heartbeat.
And I know what you're saying to yourselves, folks. You're saying, guys, what the heck are you talking about? Are you talking about trash trucks today? Well, no, the answer is not at all. We're going to talk about today a race that puts car versus nature, women versus nature. Yep. It's going to be, no, not that kind of show, Bob. And it's going to be, yes, we're going to talk about the Rebelle Rally. We talked about the Rebelle Rally quite a few episodes ago, and we talked to a couple from Southern California, a pair of sisters from Southern California, and they told us a little bit about their race, and they were veterans at it. This time we're doing it completely different. We're going to be talking to people who are, how we say, rookies, have never done this before, and they're going to do it, Bob.
They are?
In a drive, Bob. In a new Ford Bronco.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The brand new, unreleased, exciting new retro Bronco?
That's right.
Oh.
They're gonna have. In fact, there are three of them going to be in this race, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But in fact, I believe they're pretty much ready to go. And I think what we ought to do, Bob, as is our custom,
yes,
is we have to have someone musically bring it in.
Oh, okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for, let's see, Erica Martin and Jovina Young coming to us now, joining us on the Talking About Cars podcast. Bob. And there they are, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at that. Amazing.
Welcome to the show.
The magic of television. Or
what?
video.
No, Zoom. The magic of Zoom right here on your computer, or at least in your ears, for those of you listening on radio.com and KNX1070.com. All right, ladies, welcome. Now, Eric, I'm going to take a wild guess as we're looking at you. You're on the left, and Jovina's on the right. Am I correct?
I'm Jovina.
Right.
Erica.
Right.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's right. We're wrong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't know. The one that said she's Jovina is Jovina, and the other one is Erica. It'll be great. It'll be fun.
Sure.
All right, we're here to talk a little bit about what you guys have gotten yourselves into now. It is the Rebelle Rally. We've talked to ladies who have been involved in this before. You guys knew what you were getting into when you decided to do this, correct? Or did Ford approach you, or did you approach them? How did that all work out?
Well, it actually started as an idea where we we were going to get some professional drivers. And we do. We have 3 teams competing in the Rebelle Rally for Ford Motor Company and Bronco Sports. And 2 of the teams have professional drivers on them. But one idea came up as we were planning, and we thought, wouldn't it be great if we had 2 of our Ford employees enter the event? And would it be even better if they're just not as expert in off-road driving or the navigation, so that that'll be part of the story of, thinking about how Bronco Sport can actually help us along the way. There's a lot of technology in the vehicle, and we wanted to be able to showcase that for people who aren't as well versed in off-roading, how the vehicle can help you. But also just in general, a lot of people who are going to be buying a Bronco or a Bronco Sport are new to off-roading, have never done it before. And, why not raise our hands and be the people that show, like, we've never did it either, and we got out there and tried it ourselves.
If we can do it, anybody can.
There you go. Now, you talk about the Bronco. The previous Broncos really didn't see much off-road. What percentage of the new Broncos do you think are actually going to see some off-road use?
I think, like, in general, you're probably going to see maybe about, like, 20%-ish, maybe even upward. It depends. But for Bronco Sport, maybe even more so for Bronco, because, that particular audience for Bronco is going to be looking to take it off-road for sure.
Now, I heard recently they just announced that they're actually going to offer a manual transmission, something that is kind of unheard of these days.
Yeah, no, I think our enthusiasts, really, when we first came out, we didn't have a manual. Well, we do have the manual aligned to the vehicles, and our enthusiasts were just roaring for it. They're super stoked and excited. And I think that's just like for those guys who get out there and they want to kind of control the vehicle themselves and shift it themselves and be in control. So we wanted to make sure that we created something for those guys.
There were petitions going around and everything. So we heard that, and ask and you shall receive.
So basically you were the one that came up with the idea, and so no,
not us.
Okay, but somebody came up with the idea, and then you kind of went, yes, please, or did you have to be pushed to do it?
Are we back to talking about the rally, or are we still talking about
the manual?
The transmission?
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the rally, someone on the media communication side came up with the idea of, why don't we have a Ford team be a part of it? And the more I listened to it and learned about what the rally was all about, and how it's about these women who get out there and they're really self-sufficient and they really want to push boundaries, I was kind of thinking, well, heck yeah, I think I want to try this. So I kind of raised my hand, and then one day was trying to think through who would be a great partner, and I called Erica one day and said, hey Erica, do you know about the Rebelle Rally? And I was like, yeah. I was calling about a marketing piece.
Yeah, because I'm the marketing communications manager, so I thought she wanted me to put it on the website or something.
Okay.
But then she said, this is where it gets weird. I'm doing it, and I want you to be my partner. And I said, you are crazy.
That's good. Now, any plans to go to Baja next?
Well, let's get past this rally first, and then we'll see.
Wait a minute, Bob. They haven't even done this yet. Yeah, they haven't even.
Let's go.
Now you're going to go from Lake Tahoe all the way down to the Imperial Sand Dunes down there in the Imperial Valley, or in Imperial County, and in between, you're going to be pretty much, as I understand it, not only off-road, but is it true they take your phones away?
Yeah. We lock them in a Pelican case, and that's just because we can't have any GPS because it relies 100% on compass and map navigation. So our phones will be locked away. They'll check them every night when we put our vehicle in impound to make sure that there's been no tampering or anything. And then at the end of the event, we will be able to have all of our personal items back.
Well, what happens if you have an issue along the way, a vehicle failure of sorts? Excessive flat tires, things like that happen on an off-road rally. How do you get in touch with someone if you need help?
Well, we'll have a satellite phone and a satellite tracker in our vehicle. So not only does that give us the capability to call for help if we need it, it also, if it's the end of the day and we didn't make it back to base camp, they'll know exactly where we are. It also enables everyone from home to follow us along on rebellerally.com. You'll be able to see where our vehicle is and whether we're missing checkpoints or hitting them. But yeah, so we'll have that capability. And then as far as maintenance, we're trying to learn to do as much as we can ourselves. We have couple spares that we'll be carrying with us. We know how to change a tire. We know how to plug a tire. We'll be changing our own air filters and doing light maintenance. If we really do need help, we can call there are mechanics on site that can service us, but there is a penalty for that,
Right.
point penalty. So we want to do as much as we can on our own.
So AAA is probably not a good alternative
Not
to
a
get
good
you
idea.
out of a jam. No.
No, and I don't know if AAA will be able to drive out to where we'll be.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, just imagine getting one of those trucks in the middle of those dunes. I don't think it would be a good thing. It would be a little bizarre. No, not at all.
Yeah, heck of an advertising ploy for them, though.
Yeah, that's true. That could work. But I keep thinking about the fact that today everybody has their cell phones with them. Have you guys ever gone a certain amount of time cut off from the outside world like that? And how do you figure that's going to work?
I think this is the longest I'll ever go without having a cell phone on me. And it's tough. We're both moms, so we've got children, and we're not gonna be able to talk to them throughout this event. But it's kind of freeing a little bit in some respect too.
But I also wonder how many times during the race I'll feel like I want to Google something.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. All right, now you're based out of the Ford headquarters in Dearborn?
Yeah, we're based out of Ford and Dearborn. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, we're both in
off-road
marketing.
driving there is Woodward Boulevard on a bad day. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah. Who's also on? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, we've been learning how to off-road. We've got our Ford off-road courses that they offer for our engineers. Obviously, our engineers take these vehicles that we build and engineer, and they take them out in the off-road and test them. So we've taken the engineer courses on how to off-road here in Michigan. But then Erica and I just got back. We were out kind of Middlegate area in Nevada. By Sand Mountain. So we were just out west learning how to drive in the sand, and then some of the kind of dirt roads out there too. So, and learning how to navigate, most importantly of all, as well. Yeah.
you
Talk a
guys are
little
going to
about
be terrors on the boulevard when you get back. I'll tell you that.
Now, are they allowing you to use the Bronco like in Nevada, or did you kind of have to learn on other vehicles and eventually get a Bronco? Have you had a chance to mess with that at all?
Yeah, we started learning on a Raptor. So we were on the F-150, we were on the Raptor, learning how to utilize and how to read the terrain and how do you make the right choices. And so then, yeah, and we'll be in a Bronco Sport. We're getting it this week, so we'll be out in that.
Yeah, the vehicles are already on their way there, and we're gonna meet them a little bit early just so we can have a chance to get acclimated with our particular Bronco Sport, get our Rally Max all calibrated, and all of that good stuff.
What
Correct.
modifications are they going to do to these for use on off-road? Obviously, they're not going to be strictly street vehicles, correct?
Pretty much, yeah.
Really?
The whole point of the Rebelle Rally is, it's mostly stock vehicles. We're getting an auxiliary light bar from our sponsor, Rigid, and making some other, tiny. We're wrapping the vehicles to look cool, obviously, but
Okay.
it's straight off the assembly line.
Yep, and we're
Wow.
using our stock tires. Around there, we do have all-terrain tires that come stock with the Bronco Sport, and we'll be using those tires as well.
What are
That's
some of
good.
the top things people have told you advice-wise, what to bring with you on the road and something like this?
What to bring? That's a good question. Well, our navigation gear first. And
Well, yeah, okay.
but they have more than one set, probably. So you would think to have one compass and one map plotter, but I think we're bringing like 3 and rulers, because apparently I've heard like you lose those all the time because you're just kind of in and out of the vehicle. You're a little flustered. So we're bringing multiple sets of our navigation gear.
Yeah.
I think some of the best advice that we were getting, though, is not necessarily about the gear, but from people who have done rallies before, don't follow anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Just do your own course, do your own thing. Don't think that you see one vehicle going in one direction and that, you think you're supposed to go a different direction. Trust your own gut.
Yep.
How many hours a day is the rally planned to be, or how many miles?
It's 1,200 miles over the course of the 8 days we're going to be driving, right? And then, there's early wake ups. I think we usually hit the starting line around 7 a.m. and dinner starts getting served at 6. So up to 12 hours of driving, depending on how well you manage your time.
Mhm.
So do they keep the dinner warm if you're running a little late?
I hope so.
I think so.
We'll have lots of snacks.
Lots
Oh,
of
That
snacks.
is
lots of
definitely important to bring.
That was something that somebody told us to make sure our car was filled with.
Okay. A lot of
Right,
snacks.
now, the rally is a time to distance. Am I correct in that you're starting off at a specific time, that they punch when you leave, and then they punch in again when you arrive at the final destination?
The format is a little unique. So there are Enduro challenges, which are those time, speed, distance challenges, probably one a day-ish. And those are based on reaching certain milestones to the second at the right time, based on calculations that you do, based on the average speeds that they give you, and the calculated distances that they give you. But then the rest of the competition is based on how many checkpoints you reach. And some of them are clearly marked and some of them are not so clearly marked. So some are worth more points than others. So you really need, and they give you in a day way more checkpoints than you could ever hit. So kind of really need to be calculated in planning your route. Or if you start to head toward a checkpoint that, you know, it's taking you forever to get there and you have to kind of stop and like look at the points and look at the rest of your day and say like, is this really worth it? Or do we just want to, you know, cut bait and try something else?
Do a different checkpoint. Yeah. Yeah. It's a strategy of what you think you can hit throughout the day.
Have you seen a map of an overall map of the area that you're going to be driving in?
I've definitely been checking out some topo maps of the dunes just to kind of identify the least treacherous course for us to drive. But no, we have not. We don't know exactly where the course will lead us between Tahoe and Glamis.
You know, in these social distancing times, I can't imagine much of a sport that's any more social distancing than driving in a rally. I mean, talk about being safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why they decided to continue to have the Rebelle Rally this year. It's a non-spectator event as well, so really the only people that will be a part of the rally are the women that are in the rally itself, and then the support staff, the mechanics, the support staff that is helping to put the event on. So, so from that perspective, and we're all taking COVID tests prior to that, so they're being very, very cautious and very safe. Yep.
Now, what kind of performance driving, if any, have you two been involved with before?
Commuting to and from
work. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also that end of the day daycare pickup when you're running very late and you really got to stop on it.
That's it. Yeah, I can imagine now. Mm-hmm. I've
Okay,
driven
so,
Detroit. I can understand. Yeah.
So are you guys considered, or do you consider yourselves to be car people at all? I mean, going back to the day, did you ever have an affinity for classic cars or older cars, or did you just drive cars because they're vehicles to get you from point A and point B?
I've worked in automotive advertising my whole career, so I'm into cars in that way. I've worked on F-150, I've worked on luxury brands, so I'm into cars, and I'm also into like vintage old things in general. I love estate sailing, and I love old things. So when you put the two together, like working on Bronco is a dream for me. I've even been collecting. I showed Jovina. I found an old 4x4 off-roading guide. Like a vintage one, and I ordered it because I'm like, I have to read this thing and see what they had to say about off-roading in 1983. So I've always been a car person just because I work. It's my profession, but yeah.
What about you, Jovina?
I see it. I'm in the same boat. I mean, it's kind of hard to live in Michigan and not have some kind of affinity for cars, and that it's all around us. So I started my career working in advertising in the automotive industry. And then I took like a really short stint away, about 10 years working in the beer industry. And then I've come back now full circle in the automotive industry. So same thing as Erica.
Beer.
Yeah.
Yes. And of course, if you've ever been to Detroit before, and I know Bob can vouch for this, you see a lot of American cars there. A lot of American cars there. You don't see, it's not like California where you drive around and you see a couple. Yeah. And most of everything else is a foreign car. No, in Detroit, in that area, there's a lot of American cars.
Now, what kind of history are they going to compare the new Bronco to the old Bronco? I mean, the first generation. That's, to me, the first generation Bronco is really the real Bronco.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of the things that we've really looked at as we made a decision even to bring Bronco back, especially the design styling cues, really paying attention to what made a Bronco. And so you definitely see that visually, like in the, cartridge style grill, the round headlamps, the way that, we have Bronco spelled out in the grill. That's a little bit of where before it was Ford, but that's like right on the grill, that boxy shape, those lines.
And we knew open air had to be obviously.
Yeah.
So you're going to be driving an open air vehicle. You're not going to have one of the roofs on it. You're exposed to everything.
We're Bronco Sport.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're in the X Cross class. So we're going to be driving a Bronco Sport, which is the other Bronco in the stable.
Yeah, it's the Bronco small SUVs.
Okay, yeah. Explain that to some of the people that are listening, because they may not know necessarily the differences between these.
Sure. So when we brought back Bronco, we've got our Bronco 2-door and 4-door. And that's what, when you think about Bronco, that's what you were looking for, or waiting for. But strategically, as a company, we knew that there was a huge opportunity as we looked at the small SUV segment, where there was quite a lot of customers who are outdoorsy people, and they needed the capability to get out there, but there might not be necessarily using their vehicle where off-roading is the main event.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of off-roading to get to the place where they're going to go skiing. They want to get to those back mountain places or go mountain biking. They're like really good and excelling in their own sports and challenging themselves. But there was just a white space for us to kind of bring a vehicle for that particular customer. And so that's where Bronco Sport comes in. It really fits in for that lifestyle. But for it to be a Bronco, we thought it has to have the capability worthy in that space for it to be called a Bronco. Mm-hmm. And so the Bronco Sport, especially for a small SUV, has a lot of really great things, especially from an off-road capability perspective. We've got the 2-liter engine. It's got, a twin clutch rear drive unit. We've got a rear differential lock, ability to lock. And then you've got 4x4 locks on there as well. And then we've got the GOAT modes, which is on both Bronco and Bronco Sport, and the ability to switch between stand mode and mud and ruts, rock mode. You could do that in Bronco Sport as well.
I mean, Bronco Sport is like, it's built for off-roading, even just its body construction. It's got great approach and departure angles. And we were just underneath the vehicle yesterday at the shop, just checking out, where everything goes. And everything is so well protected. There's a lot of protection underneath. You've got a metal bash plate. So it's made to go off-roading, and that's what we're going to do.
Cool. Any idea that are you going to drive one of these as your daily driver when you get home?
I think both of us are. Yeah.
Think daily driver.
What?
How can we not?
Yeah.
What are you guys driving now?
We're actually both in Edges.
Yeah, I have a Ford Edge.
Oh, okay. Very good. What was your
But I
first
have
car?
the ST model.
Yeah,
It's like kind of the performance model. It's got the bigger engine with the 250 horsepower. So.
What was your first car?
First car.
I had a Ford Tempo.
I had a Pontiac Sundance, I think.
Sunbird.
The other brands.
Sunbird?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Sunbird.
exist anymore. I mean, it's a classic. It almost sounds like she had a classic Pontiac.
Yeah, well, you do. So what the heck?
Wasn't a GTO, but hey,
Yeah.
it's a Pontiac, and Pontiac doesn't exist anymore. But that's very good. All right. So now that you work at Ford, I know that I'm expecting when I ask this question that you guys are going to give me all the Ford answers. But nonetheless, the top 2 or 3 cars that you want to own someday. Out of all the cars out there.
Well,
I want a big Bronco.
I want a Bronco.
I want a Bronco.
I'll write that down.
Maybe a Raptor?
I think now after we've done the training, a Raptor would be pretty fun to have.
All right, so now you're going to go from cars to
Once
trucks.
you're in it, it's so fun to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raptor's got some horsepower too.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, outside of Ford, I think it'd be interesting to try out a Tesla. I don't know if I want to own it. If I want to, I haven't been in one before, so I kind of want to check out and see what all the hype is about.
3 words that I don't think we're ever going to hear, Bob. Off-road Tesla. Or will
Well,
we?
I don't know.
with that truck
I don't
coming
know.
out, you never know. But all
There
right,
is
now,
There's a Rivian
There's a
racing.
Rivian.
Rivian, yeah. Now, speaking of that, Ford made an announcement. There's a big change at the top. They're shuffling managements and so forth. How is that going to affect you? Because now they're saying they're going to start focusing on autonomous vehicles and electrified vehicles.
We'll see.
So the panic hasn't filtered down to your level yet.
I mean, we've always had a strategy. I think our goal was to have a hybrid or electric derivative of every nameplate by like 2022 or something like that. So I think that's always been the direction we're headed. I think maybe we'll just cut the pace a little. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But even without that, I mean, I think there's always a need for what Bronco delivers, right? And, especially with the powertrains that we have, and we're building for what customers are looking for today. And we'll continue to understand what customers need in the future. And a nameplate like Bronco, we didn't bring it back to be a short-term thing. Bronco is going to be a long-term brand moving forward within Ford Motor Company. And, we'll continue to listen to and figure out what our customer needs.
You know who also is going to be driving one of those Broncos?
No.
In the race?
No.
Our buddy Alana Scher is going to be there.
Alana's
Alana's going to be driving.
Yeah.
We got to harass her about that because her idea of off-road driving is pulling into her backyard.
And I agree with her. Do not make her the navigator. I'm
No.
just saying. I hear she gets lost at the drop of a hat, but I don't know. I might be wrong about that.
Well, remember when she tried to get to the studio that time for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did have to send out a flare, but that's all right. It happens. It wouldn't happen like that in the middle of the sand and all that, where land spreading out so far and wide.
Yeah.
Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside. Yes. Do you remember what TV show that was from, Bob?
I have no idea.
Green Acres, but that's too old because it makes me very. You guys remember Green Acres?
Yeah. Don't make me sing the whole song.
You know how the song goes?
No.
Yeah.
Come on, sing it with me. Land spreading out so
Green
far.
Acres is
It's
the
a place
place
to
for me.
be.
Well, how did I miss this?
Living
It is a life
for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gosh.
See, Bob?
No.
Yeah. Bob, you're the only one left out. I
now remember Green Acres to an extent. It just was not one of the shows I watched when I was younger.
Okay.
And so forth, but yeah.
So let me get this straight. You're going to be first-time drivers in a rally.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be first-time video producers on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And all of this you've never done before, and you're going to make it look awesome.
Yeah, we'll try. I know. I mean, we were joking with each other because, we'll get to one point and maybe be completely lost and just kind of losing it a little bit. And we were saying, who's going to be the first one to say, "Oh my God, this is gold! Grab the video and let's record us freaking out."
Yeah.
Just keep a GoPro going all the time, and
that's
you
what
can
you
edit
should
out
do.
all the,
I mean, we decided very late in the game that we were going to do this. We really only decided about a month ago. So I can't even believe how much we've learned since we, made the commitment. And I keep saying, I know it sounds cheesy, but no matter how we finish, this is, and we are not even at the rally yet, and this has already been so rewarding. Yeah. I mean, just everything we've learned, and then the training that we did last week was with some former Rebels, and that community is just so amazing. They were so welcoming, and they're competing against us, and they want us to be the best we can be. And they gave us all our tips and tricks, and they were there for us when they could tell that we were discouraged, and we made such good friends. I can't wait to see everyone again at the rally next week, and celebrate together at the finish line.
That's great.
Very good.
It's going to be a hell of an experience for you guys. You're going to love it.
Yeah, you're going to have a good time.
Now the problem is getting you to stop wanting to be part of
motorsports. I know. I said I can already tell this is kind of addicting.
Have you guys ever gone to the Woodward Dream Cruise?
Oh,
yes.
I mean, my in-laws right on Woodward.
I used to live in Ferndale, so like I
Yeah.
used to actually move out for the weekend. Just
I used to
Looks like
schedule.
fun.
but I
used
also
to-
had other years where I had parties. It's the kind of thing where you
Okay.
either need to like embrace it
Yep.
or get out. There's no in
Yeah.
between.
Oh, and it
Nice.
lasts more than that weekend. I mean,
Okay.
it's basically Woodward summer.
Yeah, I used to schedule meetings in Detroit so I could coincide and go to the cruises and such. It was a
Mhm.
great thing.
How will people be able to watch you and keep track of where you guys are in your progress?
You can follow our progress at rebellerally.com, and then you should be following at Ford Bronco on Instagram if you're not already anyway. They'll be posting a little bit too along the way.
Yeah, and our Ford Performance teams will be posting. And then our enthusiast site, thebronconation.com, they'll be coming out probably about mid-week while we're out there, and then checking up on us during the week, and we'll be posting a little bit of real-time stuff for us.
Yeah, we got to talk to you guys when you get back to get your impressions about what it was like and such.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll have plenty of stories and our ups and downs throughout.
And I'm interested to see how nice they are going to be to each other, especially they're going to be locked in this vehicle now for what? How long is
We're
this
either
go?
going to be best friends after this, or we won't be speaking.
Yeah. I said turn here. Why did you go straight? Yeah, I understand.
So if we bring them back and it's two separate Zoom feeds,
Then we know.
We'll know.
Yeah.
then we
Yeah.
know something went a little sideways on that. I mean, but it happens, you know. One of my best friends, I remember taking a trip to the World's Fair in Spokane many years ago, and we were best buddies. But after being in the same car, in the same area, in the same space for what was it, a week? It was like talk to the hand. You know what I mean? It was just like, no, don't even go there. Of course, no one said talk to the hand back then, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we'll see.
Mhm.
But I can tell you guys are friends. It'll be fine.
It will be fine. We'll be good.
All right. So again, good luck to you. We're going to be keeping track of you guys out there on rebellerally.com or what is rebellerally.com?
Rebellerally.com.
All right. Very good. Don't forget, you guys out there can listen to our audio podcasts on radio.com and the radio.com app, knx1070.com. You could also watch our video podcasts on our new Two Tired Guys Productions channel. Subscribe to both on YouTube. That's right. Follow us on social media. We're all over the place. That's right. Two Tired Guys. Are we starting to sell the shirts? I noticed you're starting to post the shirts.
We've got the shirts. We've got the shirts.
We've got the shirts.
We have the original, the only Two Tired Guys glamware.
We should probably get some for our guests.
I think so.
Wouldn't it be
I
great
could
if?
use some Two Tired Guys swag.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to get it. We'll have to find out. We'll have to get a mailing ad. Who knows? Maybe they could wear it on the road.
Drop by on the way down the dunes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's take a shortcut to Fort Wainini.
It's a little
Yeah.
detour.
That's a little detour.
Hey, I'm at the beach. It's nice and comfortable here. You know.
I can see this is going absolutely crazy. Until next time, I'm Randy. That's Bob. That is Erica, and that is Jovina. Join us next time as we had some fun talking about cars. We'll see you next time, everybody.